This sound is a planet speaking. This isn't music, it isn't a sound effect. It's NASA converting Saturn's radio emissions into audible frequencies. In 100 million years, this planet will have killed its own rings. And we are living at the exact right moment to witness the murder. For centuries, humanity looked at Saturn as the jewel of the solar system, a calm, majestic golden giant. In 1610, Galileo thought he saw a planet with 2 ears. He wrote in his notes, "Saturn is not alone." He was right, but not in the way he imagined. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 things that will completely change the way you see Saturn forever. The first, why its rings are a crime scene. The second, a geometric anomaly that defies the laws of physics. And the third, I'm saving that for the end, because it's the most disturbing thing ever discovered in our solar system. And almost nobody talks about it. From far away, Saturn's rings look like perfect bands of solid gold, smooth, eternal, flawless. Now let me tell you what they really are. They're a grinder, billions of fragments of ice and rock, from grains of sand to chunks the size of houses, moving at thousands of kilometers per hour while constantly colliding. If you could fly through them, you wouldn't see a ring, you'd see a shredder. These rings stretch across 300,000 kilometers, nearly the distance between Earth and the Moon. And their thickness? Some places, only 10 meters, lower than a 3-story building. An almost infinite disk, razor thin, slicing through the darkness. But where did all this material come from? To understand that, we need to talk about an invisible boundary. Physicists call it the Roche limit. It's the point where a planet's gravity becomes stronger than the forces holding a celestial body together. Cross that line and the planet tears you apart, piece by piece, layer by layer. 100 million years ago, yesterday on the scale of the cosmos, a moon existed where Saturn's rings are now. A giant moon, maybe as large as Titan, bigger than Mercury. It got too close. Saturn ripped it apart alive. What you admire tonight in the sky, that glowing crown we show children, is the scattered remains of an entire world. A world that had its own craters, its own geology, reduced to dust and ice by Saturn. We are staring at a planetary graveyard, and we call it beautiful. But wait, that's only the rings. What I promised you about the hexagon is even more disturbing. And what I'm saving for the end, you are not ready for. There's worse. Saturn's gravity is still pulling those fragments inward. Every hour, tons of ring material pour into the atmosphere, a phenomenon called ring rain. In 100 million years, the rings will be gone. We are living at the exact right moment to see them. A cosmic coincidence of staggering improbability. If you look at Saturn through a telescope tonight, you are watching something that is dying. Pull away from the rings, rise above the planet. Look at the North Pole, nature works in curves. Planets are round, orbits are elliptical, hurricanes are circular. Fluid dynamics does not produce straight angles. That's a fundamental law of physics. Except here. At Saturn's North Pole, there is a hexagon, a 6-sided hurricane with perfectly equal sides, stable for at least 40 years. Its walls plunge hundreds of kilometers deep into the atmosphere. Its width, large enough to swallow 4 Earths. At the center, a dark red vortex spinning like a rose made of 500 km/h winds. Scientists have theories, jet streams, rotational differences between latitudes. We've even recreated the phenomenon in laboratory water tanks. But here's what documentaries rarely tell you. Nobody truly understands why the geometry is so perfect, why exactly 6 equal sides, why it has remained stable for decades in an environment of absolute chaos. Inside Saturn's universe, this planet that devours its own moons, there is a perfect geometric shape, motionless, staring into the void like an eye that never blinks. And when Saturn gets bored of being merely terrifying, it escalates. What I promised you about the moons, here we go. And this changes everything. Roughly every 30 years, one Saturnian year, a monster awakens. It's called the Great White Spot. A storm that doesn't just cover a region, a storm that wraps around the entire planet, swallowing continents of golden clouds beneath white ammonia ice. The last one happened in 2010. The lightning it produced was 10,000 times more powerful than anything on Earth. This isn't an anomaly, it's a reminder. Beneath those calm yellow cloud bands lies a chaotic engine of heat and energy, a reactor we've never seen and cannot reproduce. Saturn is not alone. It commands more than 140 moons, the largest entourage in the solar system. 2 of them are among the most important places humanity has ever discovered. And I'm not saying that for dramatic effect. I'm saying it because that's what NASA and ESA scientists genuinely believe. If you look at Titan from space, you see a hazy orange sphere, the only moon in the solar system with a dense atmosphere denser than ours. There are clouds, rain, rivers, deltas, dunes, lakes. From far away, it looks like home. On Earth, rain is water. On Titan, rain is liquid methane, natural gas falling from the sky. The lakes? Seas of methane and ethane. The dunes stretching for hundreds of kilometers, made of hydrocarbons, essentially electrically charged plastic. Temperature, minus 179 degrees Celsius. If you jumped into a lake on Titan, you wouldn't drown. You wouldn't freeze. You would shatter like glass. Because at that temperature, the organic material in your body becomes instantly rigid. Titan is a world imitating the chemistry of life. It has the structures, the geography, the processes, but it built them using the wrong materials. Like a copy of Earth made by someone who had never actually seen the original. Could radically different life, not based on water, not based on DNA, exist in those methane lakes? We don't know yet, but we are sending something there to find out. Titan is fascinating, disturbing, maybe alive. But it's not the revelation I promised you. That is Enceladus. And Enceladus is going to force you to ask a question humanity still cannot answer. Small, only 500 kilometers wide, a perfectly reflective ball of pure ice. We thought it was a frozen, lifeless rock with nothing interesting about it. Then Cassini looked at its south pole. It saw tiger stripes, 4 massive bluish fractures in the ice. And from those scars, it filmed something impossible. Geysers. Plumes of water vapor blasting hundreds of kilometers into space at supersonic speeds. Water vapor. On a moon at minus 200 degrees. Where does the heat come from? Saturn's gravity needs Enceladus constantly, like squeezing a rubber ball over and over again. That friction keeps the core warm. And beneath dozens of kilometers of ice, a global ocean of liquid water, not a lake, an ocean, wrapping around the entire moon. When Cassini analyzed what those geysers were ejecting into space, it found salt water, heat, complex organic molecules, and molecular hydrogen, a likely sign of hydrothermal chemical reactions deep on the ocean floor. On Earth, around hydrothermal vents at the bottom of our oceans, where there is no sunlight, no photosynthesis, crushing pressure, life thrives. Bacteria, worms, entire ecosystems that do not need the sun. Enceladus has those exact conditions. We went to Saturn to study a giant planet and its beautiful rings. We may have found an inhabited ocean, 1.4 billion kilometers from home. And the only tool we had to explore it, we chose to destroy, on purpose. September 15, 2017. Cassini had spent 13 years orbiting Saturn. 13 years of data, photos, discoveries. It survived particle storms, crossed the rings, flew past Titan more than 100 times, dove through Enceladus's plumes. Its fuel was running out. A decision had to be made. We could let Cassini drift and risk it one day crashing into Titan or Enceladus, carrying Earth bacteria that survived the journey. Bacteria that could contaminate or destroy whatever we are trying to discover in those oceans. So NASA made a difficult choice. They sent Cassini directly into Saturn's atmosphere. Cassini fought until the end. Its thrusters resisted to keep the antenna pointed toward Earth, to keep sending data, to remain useful until the final fraction of a second. Then the heat won. The pressure won. Saturn won. Cassini melted, vaporized. It became part of the planet it had studied for 13 years. There is something deeply human about that ending. A robotic probe with no consciousness, no fear, that still managed to have a dignified death. It didn't drift endlessly through empty space. It didn't disappear silently on a frozen rock. It charged directly into the monster and kept transmitting data until the end. Saturn is still there, still turning, still devouring its rings centimeter by centimeter, still staring into the void with its hexagonal eye, still hiding oceans beneath its ice that we have not yet explored. So here's where we stand. The rings, a disappearing crime scene. The hexagon, a geometric anomaly nobody truly understands. And Enceladus, an ocean waiting in the dark. In the 2030s, a mission called Dragonfly will send a nuclear-powered drone flying through Titan's atmosphere. And mission concepts already exist to send probes through Enceladus's ice and into its ocean. If we find anything there, a bacterium, a self-replicating molecule, any trace of non-Earth life, it will be the greatest discovery in human history. Not astronomy, human history. And if we find nothing, that may be even more terrifying, because it would mean that even in a place as perfectly equipped as Enceladus, liquid water, heat, organic chemistry, protection from the vacuum of space, life never ignited. And the next question becomes unbearable. Why did it ignite here? Saturn is not threatening you. It's too far away, too alien. But from 1.4 billion kilometers away, with its hexagonal eye, its cemetery rings, and its hidden oceans, it asks a question we still cannot answer. Are we alone? Maybe it already knows. If that question keeps you awake tonight, subscribe. Because the next video is about something even closer. Something we discovered in our own cosmic backyard.